regularly scheduled episode of Monster Closet will not be seen today, for the team has elected to embark on a stunt-driving career with questionable results. Instead, we shall give you their obligatory top 5 games of 2013, Part 2.
I like Devil May Cry is definitely, I would say, like the 5th best game of the year for me. Far be it for me to argue with, an action game aficionado over here, and
I'm an aficionado.
But I had not nearly the problem with the new Dante that like everybody else seemed to. Maybe it's just because I don't have I played every game. I played every single game that's come out. But I mean, I just didn't I guess I didn't hold him as like that unbelievable character.
The game itself is great. The artwork is great. The soundtrack even better. The game actually has a followable story, which is fine. Yeah. But you strip Dante of what he's best at, being sarcastic and being a show-off. I mean, they just didn't go as over the top as they needed to for the character. So that's what drops it down the list for me.
Right.
Still a great game, but
I understand that, except for to me, it's like, for some reason, whatever it is, I just tend to be more forgiving about stuff like that. I don't know what it is. It's just that, I don't mind multiple takes on a character, But from what you're saying, I understand that because, you're saying that it's not even the same character. You know what I mean? So I understand that. So that's gameplay-wise, I think it was like one of the most fluid fighting games I played ever.
Hey, had a Convict Christ soundtrack also.
It was really good. It was really good. Probably Diablo 3 was my 4th favorite game. It's actually the first Diablo I played since the first one. I mean, it's only skipping one of them, but that's also years.
Pretty big.
I know that, but that's because I wasn't really.
One, you mean?
I played Diablo 1.
That was a PC game.
Well, so was Diablo 2, and nothing else.
Yeah.
But
Diablo 1 actually did come out on PlayStation 1.
Wow.
It was such a simple game. Like there was a town and there was a dungeon. Diablo 1. That's all it was. Town.
Don't think the game changed that much differently. Don't think the game changed that much because they've not really evolved that.
I'm thinking in Skyrim terms.
Yeah, it's not like that.
They didn't evolve it, but with a game like that, you really don't have to.
No, because it's really like just loot collection, which is what.
Town.
Yeah, which what in the story is a who cares? Who cares? Yeah, you care.
Part 2 storyline was really good. That's what kept me coming back to.
But the third one the storyline was not very good. It was okay at best. All right. I mean, honestly, I didn't feel like it was all that amazing.
They need an excuse to get Diablo back in.
Yes, they did. And but again, for what the game is, I don't think there's any game that does that exact thing any better.
Bring back
the only thing I'm going to say, no, not that exact thing. If you're just talking about loot, that's fine. I'm talking about the fluidity of the fighting, the magic spells, all the stuff they use together. It is perfect at that genre. All right, so I'm gonna go with Saints Row the 4th as my 3rd favorite game this year.
Eyes rolling, but
well, you can't roll eyes. You didn't play the game.
I know. My mind is still on 3, which was
Saints Row might have made my list if the game didn't critically crap out on me. Around the 30% mark, it glitched. So if I start a game and use any superpower whatsoever, the game would just hard crash. I would have to turn the system off to replay it. So I never got to actually finish it.
Essentially, the game is like Crackdown, but
I like
silly. It's like a silly Crackdown.
Crackdown was kind of silly.
I agree. Silly Crackdown was silly, but it's even sillier.
The second one was kind of but the first one.
Well, fortunately in Crackdown, you can't run around completely naked with a gigantic dildo.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole
right. So Steve's. Therein lies the tastelessness.
I don't want to sound like Chipper Gore, but
well, then don't stop talking. Stop it!
I'm sorry to sound like an old man, but
where in God's name does that ever come into effect with you? Yeah, I've seen you watch the newest Rambo, and when people are getting taken out by 50 cal slugs, you're like, ah!
That is a separate issue.
You were laughing like a damn hyena.
I think we've said fuck a few times ourselves.
Yeah,
That is a separate issue.
not at all. Anywho,
Shoot him.
I said it on purpose, Mr. Prude. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the one gripe that a lot of other reviews gave for that game was that like eventually the game became underpowered because you were so overpowered for so long. And you know, I don't give a fuck because I had so much fun in the overpowered part that like I didn't really care. You know, I mean, I guess that it felt a little bit like a lot of the systems they had in the game were pointless because of like, you know, all these car upgrades and stuff.
There's a sad person that designed that car upgrade system.
Yeah, like
No one will ever use a car after the first hour.
Was it as bad as like I know there's a car upgrade system on part 3? Was it anything similar?
No, it was better. It was
definitely better.
But the game's
useless
systems made using cars useless.
Right, because you just flew all over the place.
You could run faster than
I
cars.
don't need a car.
You easily run fast. Not only do you run faster than cars, you got so strong to where you're just knocking cars off the road. No, you just fly. You just book down the road and just cars going.
Upgrading your favorite car's rims kind of became a little trivial after
We
that.
don't need
Right,
rims.
it certainly did.
I don't need rims. I have missiles coming out of my ass.
Exactly.
Yes, essentially. And I loved the insurance fraud stuff in that game when you got
Insurance fraud?
when you got superpowers like to raise them. Yeah, it was like you would try to get hurt in traffic.
They encourage this kind of
Yes,
behavior?
yes.
That was partially in 3 also.
It was.
It's just so far over the top in
Right,
4.
like I would run as fast as I can and then like pull the like ragdoll buttons and I would just like fall and slam into the car running at full speed. You would go so high up in the air.
So it was just like a physics
Yeah, it's a physics
That
experiment.
sounds like fun.
It is fun. It was a lot of fun.
Maybe I'll try. Conscious aside and maybe play, like, all right, I'm just not human today, and I'll just.
You should.
I'll just give
You absolutely
Renounce your
should.
humanity.
It's like I'm just.
So yes,
I want to
on
know.
strict fun gameplay alone, I'm putting that in my third slot.
Okay.
Okay. Number 2, I'm gonna put Grand Theft Auto 5.
Sure.
Okay. I think that
I haven't played it, but I know it's good.
seriously, like storyline wise, like I kind of lost me for a minute. I kind of found myself like somewhere in the middle of the game, being like disinterested. But like then after just dicking around for a little while in the game and just like doing some stuff, I like got pulled right back into it. So yes, that would be my number 2, and my number 1 this year. And James is gonna like hit me over the head with something because we've had conversations with this. But now I'm gonna base my number 1 on amazing story alone. Okay, BioShock Infinite. Okay, now I can see his face getting pissed. And as much as like, you know, if you played any other BioShock before, like
I would like them probably.
you should try them. But
Now, is the first one more of a role-playing game as opposed to the new one? You said it's more of an action.
no,
game.
they're all the same.
Really action
They're all the same.
shooters. They're not
Yeah.
really complicated.
I'd say the first one's probably the most strategic of them.
Yeah, they're all the same. And then this one is probably the most action oriented. To me, it's like, that's the number 1 game. You know, just stupid nuances. Even like hearing like the Beach Boys song.
I love the style of it.
And then when it was like, it's not even in the right era. You know,
Right, it's Art Deco, and you're up to the
Spoilers! This game's been out for a while. Spoilers!
I don't mind spoilers. I don't play it, but it doesn't bother me. But I like the Art Deco style. Something that attracts me. You know, anything retro.
Right, agreed. I love Art Deco.
Yeah,
But yes, that is my
Nice looking game.
game number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.